Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jamin Collar, and today you're getting the tutorial for Dynamite by Taio Cruz. All right, so let's get started with the part that you probably care about the most. That's the intro. So I'll just show you those notes right off, and then later on I'll show you why they're important and how to use them later on. So those notes are C sharp and E, and you play two of those. And then from there, we're going C sharp down to B, and from the E down to the D sharp or the E flat. So, and then you play one more of those. And then you're going to go in opposite directions here. The left hand's going to go down from B down to E, and the right hand's going to go from E flat up to A flat. And you got two of those. So far we've got this one going in opposite directions. Last one, here we go. They're now going to move towards each other. So we're going from here in. This one's moving up to A, and the right hand's moving down to C sharp. And that's it. That's the whole thing. So now you know. You can further, with your left hand, just play the same thing in octaves. So playing that C sharp twice down here. And if you play double C sharps, double Bs, double Es, and double As, just add a little bit of power there to that intro. So there you go. That's the intro. All right, so now let's take a little deeper look at the song and find out how it works and what makes this song up. We're in the key of E, which means that all of our notes are going to be one of these 7 notes, either E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, or D sharp. And then, of course, we've got the same notes up here, E, F sharp, G sharp, and so on. So those are our 7 options on the keyboard. The melody goes something like this. So there you go. There's the melody for that main chorus part. The bass line is pretty simple. It just has 4 notes in it, basically. It's going to have that C sharp, that intro part that we did. It's going to be those 4 notes. The only difference is sometimes they'll trade that E for a G sharp. So those are pretty much interchangeable throughout the song. Let me play it through for you so you can hear using both of them. First, I'll do the E, and then I'll go back and I'll play it again using only the G sharp every time we get to that note. Here we go. So you might have a preference, but you can kind of see that they're basically the same thing. And throughout the song, if you transcribe it note for note, you'll notice they go back and forth using either the E or the G sharp on that 3rd note there on the bass line. So there you go. There's your bass line, and that's pretty much the same bass line all the way through. They're going to change that once on that part that goes... On that part, it's the same exact notes, but they just change the order. So instead of going from C sharp to B to G sharp to A, they're going to go G sharp to C sharp to A to B. Same exact notes, just a different order. So now you can see the bass line. Yeah, you get the idea. So you can see that bass line just repeats itself, and other than that, you have no other bass lines. Those are the only ones. So now you've got kind of the melody down, you've got the bass line down, and now let me show you even deeper how this works. All right, so underneath the bass line and the melody, we've got 4 chords that repeat, and that's the whole song. So those chords are first a C sharp minor. That's C sharp, E, and G sharp. Then a B chord, so that's B, D sharp, and F sharp. So far C sharp minor and B. The next one's going to be an E in first inversion, so that's going to be an E on top. Then a G sharp, then a B. So far we have last chord is an A chord, A, C sharp, and E. So if I play that all up an octave, we've got and that's almost literally the whole song. We just split those notes up and try them in different places, but it's those 4 chords just with 3 notes each. So now let me show you how we use those chords a little bit. All right, so let's start with the verse and show you how to use those chords on the verse. There's 5 parts, basically: the verse, the chorus, the bridge, the vamp, and then I'll show you the intro again, some ideas for the intro. So there's 5 parts. Here we go with the verse. There's not a whole lot you can do with the verse just because there's not a whole lot of instruments in the song. So if you do something really cool, that's fine, but it's just not going to sound like the track. So pretty much what I did was I just played that bass line. Only I just played it in octaves, so and alternated back and forth like that. So if you play that same vamp with that bass line with the alternating back and forth, it goes. All right, so from there we just throw in the some of the notes from those chords. So when we're on the C sharp chord, throw in some of these notes, and when we're on the B chord, some of those notes, just like those chords that we had before, and then that just broadens the verse up a little bit to look like this. All right, so next we have the chorus. The first thing we could do is just play the chords and then the melody up top. So we'd have something like this. From there, you can take those chords down an octave and take out the middle note. So just playing the bottom note and the top note of that chord that we'd practiced. So that would sound something like this. And if you add in the rhythm, from there, you can actually add in that middle note again, but instead of adding it in down here on the bottom, what I did was stuck it here up at the top. So on this chord, take that middle note out and put it on top. And then on the next one, we have this note in the middle, put it on top, except my hand actually can't reach that far. Almost, but I can't really, like, even though I can reach it, I can't like hit it, you know? So it sounds something like this, which sounds horrible. So instead of trying to reach that, I just doubled up on this bottom note here and played that for that second chord. So I've got, and then the next one, we take that middle note again here and put it up here. And then same thing for the next chord. Instead of that, this. And here's what that sounds like. From there, all we have to do is add in a couple notes on the right hand again, probably hanging out a whole lot on this B right here, but finding notes that are in the chord, or at least in the scale, that E major scale that we practiced before. So that sounds something like this. All right, so thanks for sticking with me. We've got 2 out of 5 things down. We've just got 3 parts left, the bridge, the vamp, and the intro, and they're probably the easiest ones. So let's get the bridge out of the way. Here we go. I already showed you the pattern for it. It's going to be that G sharp, C sharp, A, and then B. And all we're going to do is the exact same thing that we did with those tenths. That same concept, but we're going to apply it down here to these other chords. So on this chord, taking that bottom note, putting it on top. Same thing here. Then same thing here. Then same thing here. And this time we get to actually play that one because we've got lots of time, and instead of playing them all at once, we're just going to roll through them. So just playing one note at a time. That sounds something like this. And again, now we just want to add in some of those extra notes on the right hand. So that'll sound something like this. And there at the end of that, I just played a E and a B, and an E and a B, and an E and a B to get all the way through that. So the end of it is something like this. There you go. And now we're finally back down to the intro. I just want to show you one thing on the intro that I added in here that I thought sounded a little bit cool. And that is when I get to the part that goes, I wanted to add in like an extra like disco, house beat, hip hop feel. And a lot of times they've got like strings that are just playing like notes, like quarter notes. So like, and so I've got, play that a little bit slower. Speeding it up. Anyway, those are my ideas. I'm sure you've got plenty more. Send them to me, Jamin, Jamin, at milestonesmusic.net, and be sure you check out the other video lessons there. Thanks so much for sticking with me. I'll see you next time.